In this video, I talked to Tarik Berrada from Adakazam, and he will be sharing with us 3 common and tricky mistakes they see in Amazon advertising accounts managed by Amazon sellers. Hello, Tarik.
Hello, Augustas.
And can you introduce yourself? Where are you coming from? I know it's a quite interesting story. And how do you help Amazon sellers?
All right. We are Adakazam. It's an Adtech startup based in Paris. I am the data guy. I am in charge of all the data and the prediction models within our company. We have a special story because we are 4 co-founders. We come from the Google AdWords landscape. All of us, we used to work at Criteo. It's a very famous Adtech company in France. We used to work in the R&D department, and we all used to work in search optimization, like optimization of algorithms to do advertising on AdWords. So we decided 1 year ago to jump onto the Amazon landscape and to put in practice all what we learned during more than 10 years in the AdWords space. About Adakazam, as you said, we help sellers and vendors grow their business through Amazon advertising. We are a fully managed and optimized solution for advertising. Our solution is performance-based. You only need to define your strategies, and then we do all the rest for you. By strategy, I mean you just need to specify what is your ACoS target for a specific group of ASIN. Of course, we can help you do this, and that's it. And we do all the rest. By all the rest, I mean we create the optimal structure. So we will create from scratch all the campaigns that will be needed to do very good advertising for you. Of course, we reuse your past data. So your past advertising will be reused, the data from it. So we create the optimal structure. Then within this structure, we will be harvesting keywords and competitor ASINs. And every day, daily, we will be updating the bids all over the structure to hit the target, depending on your strategies. So it's an autopilot solution that doesn't need you to do much. So we are not, we want to be assisting you to manage your PPC. So no suggested rules, no suggested action for you, but just defining strategy with us, and there will be thousands of action taken every day to optimize your advertising in your place. So if you want to fully delegate and optimize your advertising by a smart tool that is based on artificial intelligence and have access to our analytics board, we are the solution for you. So this is our goal and target.
All right. And
of course, if you need more details, feel free to contact us.
Yeah, sure. And so you already have experience working with Amazon sellers, and you told me that you would like to share some tricky and common mistakes you see Amazon sellers are doing. So let's go for it. I think those who are managing campaigns by themselves, they need to know that, and by this maybe they will save some money.
Yes, yeah, you are right. There are very common and tricky mistakes that we saw a lot done in the past by sellers. The first one is blacklisting bad keywords. People think that the best solution to do PPC is first to blacklist bad keyword. We think that blacklisting is not good, because when you blacklist a keyword, it's gone forever. You forget about it, especially if you do a lot of blacklisting, you won't see it ever. Why it's not good? Because there can be many reasons that will explain a bad performance for a keyword. It can just be simple seasonality, a period of time where the keyword is not doing well. Another reason can be just the bid is not adapted. The bid is too low for the keyword, so the performance is not good, or other external factors. Of course, here I'm not talking about unrelated keyword. If you want to advertise, if you are selling chairs, of course there will be, you want to blacklist I don't know, shoes, as keyword. But in fact, this doesn't happen because normally, even if you use unrelated keywords, normally they won't match in the Amazon system. So all what I'm saying is not related to unrelated keywords. So to have an example of how this can affect your business, you can just pick your favorite keyword. You pick your favorite keyword, you go in your past data, and you look over time, over 1, 2, or 3 weeks, you aggregate your data. You can do it on whatever tool you are using to analyze your data, and look at the performance of this keyword, your best keyword. For sure, I assure you that you can find a period of time where your best keyword have a bad performance, and this happens. So when you see this, it means that if after this period, let's say 2 weeks, where your best keyword have a bad performance, you decided to go and blacklist bad keywords, you might blacklist this good keyword. Maybe if you are doing it manually and you know by heart the good keywords, you won't do it. But if you have some rules, if you are doing it based on rules and on an automated manner, your best keyword will be blacklisted after this period of time where it has a bad performance. So that's why it is dangerous to do automatic blacklisting of keywords. And what you need to do in these cases, you always need to prefer bidding at minimum bid rather than blacklisting the keyword indefinitely. So if you think that a keyword is not performing well, lower the bid, or even if it's really bad performance, put it at the minimum. Either you won't have any traffic on it, or it will get fewer traffic, but the cost will be low, and maybe you will get a better AUGUS. So always lower the bid, put it at the minimum instead of blacklisting. It's also useful to use a minimum bid because it can help revive seasonable keywords, and it can avoid taking decision based on insignificant data. Because in fact, when you do that kind of operation, you are just taking decision based on data. You look at your keyword, you compute the AUGUS. The AUGUS is just looking on data on a certain period of time. When you have few data, it can be just noise. The data can be insignificant. So lowering the bid help you not take that kind of decisions that are based on data which is not enough. So this is the first common mistake we saw. So to avoid it, just lower the bid. The second one is the overuse of phrase and broad match. This can be extended to other use cases that maybe we can discuss after. But let's take only this use case. If you use phrase or broad match for every keyword that works well, you are basically not narrowing down anything. You are just letting Amazon decide for you. As you will catch most of the keywords an auto campaign will do. And in addition, you will always pay the highest bid between all the keywords that match the same user search query. I can give you an example to better understand my point. Let's say you are selling board games, okay? And someone is typing as a search term, board games for kids. You might have in your structure as a phrase match keyword games, and you might have board games as broad match keyword for the same ASIN. In this case, the search term board games for kids will be matching board as phrase and will be matching board games as broad. So what will happen in this case is that Amazon will be just associating the impression and the sponsored position to the highest bid between your two keywords. So in fact, this means that you have a traffic, like search term, and you will be addressing it from different entry points, and Amazon will just pick the highest entry points. This will lead you to spend a lot of money when you can spend much less to have a better performance. So instead of using a broad or phrase match for specific keyword for which there are several variations, you will later be able to extract the best variations as exact matches and decide what to do with the others. So every time you are using, let's say, phrase keyword, you should make sure that you are using that it's not captured in another broad or in another automatic ad group. So when you have a phrase keyword, it should be associated with a phrase negation that is applied on the other entry points where it works. This is the case also with the exact keywords. It's the same story. When you have an exact keyword, you should only make sure that this exact keyword is negated on all the phrase keywords and broad keywords and auto ad groups where the exact keyword can match. Otherwise, as I said, you will just be bidding against yourself and you will be paying the highest bid. One way to avoid that kind of problems, because it's tricky to know exactly for every phrase or broad what isn't matching and what is not, and looking for the overlap between that different types of matching. One good practice is to avoid as much as possible using hundreds of keywords with different matching types. So if you have a structure and for the same product in different campaigns or in the same campaigns, whatever, you have hundreds of keywords of different matching types, usually this doesn't sound good. It's more profitable to have a small number of well-configured keywords in the right and optimal way rather than having hundreds or thousands of keywords. And I assure you that having 10 keywords well configured is much better than having hundreds that are not controlled. So the thing you should keep in mind related to this mistake is all manually targeted keywords should be coupled with their negated versions. When you put an exact keyword in an ad group, please check if it will match through other types of matching or through auto and put it as negative. So this is the takeover from this mistake. And the third mistake is even trickier and needs some introduction to how the internal auction works in Amazon. I will give some details about it. So the third mistake is bidding very high and flat to guarantee a sponsored position. So this will cost you maybe too much and will not even work because CPC is not the only thing used by Amazon to grant sponsored spot. Some people think that when you put a very high CPC, let's assume €5, you will have a position guaranteed, and you can do it because anyways, if the second price, if your competition is bid in €1, anyways you will be paying close to €1 even if you paid €5 because it's second price auction that is used in Amazon. This is kind of true, but it's very dangerous because of different reasons. The first one is that the competition is using more and more smart tools that will be progressively increasing their bids to get traffic. When they see that they are not getting traffic, let's say in the case where they are bidding €1 and you €5, you get all the traffic. When they are using smart tools and they see that with €1 they don't get the traffic, they will be increasing the bids. When they increase the bids, it means that you will be paying higher and higher for the exact same traffic, since it's a second price auction that is used. So this can be very dangerous. For the same traffic, for the same performance, you will just you will be paying more and more. And the other reason why this is dangerous is that Amazon are using different things to estimate the value of showing your product in a sponsored position. The things and the quantities they are using, of course, there's the CPC. It helps them decide if they show your product or not. They use also an estimation of the click-through rate. What is the probability that if they show your product will get a click? They estimate this and they use this quantity to decide. And the last one they use is an estimation of the conversion rate. Estimation of conversion rate is they compute the probability that if someone, if they show their product and someone click on your product, what is the probability that the user will buy your product? So with these three quantities, they compute what they call the predicted revenue per click, because the goal of Amazon is to optimize their advertising revenue. So they predict this revenue they will get through one click. And with this quantity, with this prediction, they do their internal auction. So let's say they have three competitors. For every competitor that has products that are eligible for one search term, they will compute the predicted revenue per click internally. So they will have three predicted revenue per clicks. The highest one will win the auction. So, and this is the product they will be shown in the sponsored position. So as you can see, internally, Amazon doesn't use only CPCs to decide which product to show, but they use other quantities. So the CPC is not enough to put and to guarantee your product as a first position. So of course, the prediction of the revenue per click, this quantity they are using internally to decide which product to show, its exact formula, of course, is secret. And also the models to estimate these conversions by Amazon are secret. No one knows them except the people working at Amazon. And so this explains why never trust only PPC, because it's not the only thing that will decide if your product will be shown. So some people tell me, my bid is much higher than the effective CPC, so I can increase the bids. They say, okay, I'm putting a bid of €1. And in fact, when I look at my cost, I see that I'm paying 20 cents per click for my keyword or for my product. So they're saying, okay, so if it's the case, if there is this big gap, it means that my competition is bidding very low. So I can increase my bid to 2 or 3 years so as to be safe and guarantee the position for myself. So no, this is what we were talking about. Never do this. Because the competition evolves, they are using smarter tools. And also because of things different from the CPC are used to decide which product to show. So don't do that kind of configuration, because the CPC you are paying, the cost you are paying today might evolve depending on the competition and depending on the internal auction of Amazon. And this might change in the future. Maybe if you do it today, you have a sponsored position guaranteed and the cost is not high, but trust me, this is changing. So avoid doing this. So these are the three common mistakes we are seeing. Of course, there are others, but these are the three common ones and tricky ones we see.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much, Tarik. Can you tell us a little bit, how does your Adakazam software work? You mentioned artificial intelligence. So what is that? How, now it's a very fancy word to use to create tools with artificial intelligence. So what's the difference from any other kind of computer algorithm?
Okay. In fact, the artificial intelligence is quite simple. It's algorithms that are taking decisions based on data. So what we are doing is we take your advertising data, or we gather data through auto-campaign or other ways. On this data, we will be doing estimations like the estimation Amazon they are doing. We have our own prediction model that allow us to say if we show this product on this keyword, what is the probability that the user will buy this product on this keyword. So the artificial intelligence is just computing different estimations of probability that the product will be bought. And with this quantity, plus taking into account how the competition is doing, we have another model that is estimating how is the competition doing on this keyword on this product. And the third part is we want to guarantee that your cost and your performance is under the target. So we estimate the prediction conversion, we estimate the competition and we adjust compared to the previous data on how you are doing against your AUGUST target. And with our models, we combine these three quantities and we decide on this keyword, on this product, we should pay 20 cents so as to get this ROI. So the artificial intelligence is just mathematical models that are helping you compute the right bid and the right CPC in order to stay under your target and to maximize your sales. So this is how we use the artificial intelligence.
Can you share some results you see when you start working with Amazon sellers? How does your algorithm improve their performance, or how does it save money?
Yeah, I will talk about two examples of accounts we worked with. The first one is a big seller that is making more than 2 million a year. He used to be spending 20K in advertising per month, and he used to have a very high ACOS. He has an ACOS of 90% because he has very good margins on the organic sales. So he was using PPC to rank and to get more sales on the organic part. So this is why he was operating this way. When we took over here his account, after 2 months, we increased his ACOS to 70%, from 90 to 70%, with higher volume of sales, of overall sales. So I'm not, because it's very important to make sure that you are not just increasing sponsored sales that are cannibalizing your organic sales. You should look at your sponsored sales and at the same time at all your sales. So in this case, we helped this seller after 2 months to go from 90% ACOS to 70% ACOS with plus 20% overall sales. And after 4 months, we are now at 60% of ACOS, and always with higher global sales compared to January when he started working with us. So our solution is good for reducing the cost and guaranteeing the same or more volume of sales. So by operating well, you will reduce the cost and improve your volume of sale. So this is the first use case. The second use case is a seller a French seller that is, his main marketplace was France. He also started working with us in January. He joined us first to operate France. He saw that we are operating other marketplaces. So he asked for help for other marketplaces since he doesn't know the language and he cannot do the keyword work. So since our tool is language agnostic and is fully based on performance, we helped him launch the other 4 marketplaces. And now the share of France is 30% of all his sales. So if it's like if we multiplied his sales by 3 by opening the other marketplaces. And as all sellers know, when you open your marketplace with a new product, it's hard in the beginning when you don't have any reviews and when your product is not ranked. And the cost of advertising is very high if you want to get impressions. And our solution is well suited to help you this, since you define the strategy and it guarantee an ACOS target. So it helps you launch a new marketplace with a cost that is like guaranteed. You don't exceed your cost. You can go aggressive. You can put a high target, and this is very useful. Otherwise, we saw other sellers that try to do it. I'm not saying that it's impossible to do it yourself, but when you do it yourself, since the cost is high, you should put a high bids and you should go back and check. Otherwise, you will spend a lot. And since our tool is updating it every day and doing it based on performance, it controls well your cost and your growth in the new marketplaces. So these are 2 types of kind of achievements we get with our clients.
Sounds good. Thank you, Tarik. So
You're welcome.
how can people, if they're interested, what's the best way to reach out to you and to your team?
Yes, you just need to go on our website, adakazam.com, and there is a section, contact us, and we will come back to you very soon.
Thank you, and good luck in your business. Bye-bye. I do hope this video gave you some useful tips or at least reminders to what not to do with Amazon advertising accounts. And don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel of Orange Klik and click the notification bell. This is the place where we are talking to different Amazon seller service providers, also software solutions for Amazon sellers, as well as organizers of different events and conferences for Amazon sellers. See you in the next video.